Hello again. How's everybody tonight? Tonight is going to be fun. We're going to talk a little bit about a couple of things. One for sure being what everybody is talking about, especially in America right now. Everybody in America seems to be talking about the same thing right now. What's going on in America? I mean, obviously, it's the huge gold medal win by the U.S. against Canada in the World Junior Hockey Game. That is the only thing that's being talked about right now in America, and you know what? And so it should be. But you know what? Congratulations to America as a Canadian here. We are looking at America saying, you know what? Better luck next year. We had it last year. We've won it lots, but good on you, U.S. You guys played amazing. And, you know, we'll get you next year. We're not worried. We'll get you next year. You know? World Junior Games is less about the winning of the gold medal, more about, you know, putting on display all the talent that's going on there. There's some pretty amazing players on both sides of the border there, U.S. and Canada, and also around the world. There's an amazing German player out there that's going to be huge. But yeah, tonight's going to be fun, and we're going to get into a lot of things. Namely, we're going to talk a little bit about you know, when and why you should definitely use the words literally and bro. You should use them more. Honestly, you should use them more. You should use them like every other word. Should bro, literally, bro. Literally, bro. Bro, literally. I think they should put it into one word. Like, little bro. Or brittly. Bro, literally. That's the best. There's no good time or place to ever use those words. Maybe if you're actually talking to your brother, bro, hey bro. But people call these dudes have been saying. I know I have a friend who calls me bro. Bro. Okay, look, you're at a bar, you're hanging out with your buddies. All right, okay, throw a few bros around, no big deal. Still not excessively, but like when you're in a office setting, when you're in an office setting and there's customers around and there's people around you, clients around you, don't be referring to your fellow colleagues as bro. Even if they may be your bro after hours, you got to maintain a professional veneer when you're dealing in an office setting. Don't refer to your colleagues as a bro in an office ever, even when nobody's around. It's the same thing as swearing or something like that. Just don't do it. Okay? Bros? Girls too, you know? When girls call guys bro, it's almost, you know, sarcastic. So yeah, I don't know. But honestly, the bro thing's gonna go. Now the word literally has been used as an emphasis, as a word for emphasis for many years. But I'll be honest with you, it's overused to the nth right now. So I have a few YouTube videos that I thought were really good, if I could ever find them. But let's be honest, guys. When you use the word literally, you are saying literally, like in literally. Like I've heard people say something that was really complicated was literally rocket science. No. Well, what Elon Musk does is literally rocket science. That's literally rocket science. You know, because something's difficult, it's not literally anything. what it is, if you want to emphasize something, try using a different word, right? Literally it's now a substitute for the word really, which, you know, I could go without really also. There's all kinds of words you could use to emphasize something, you know. So especially when you use the word literally when you're in an office, I would avoid using it because it makes you sound a little less mature, because, you know, it's just not something that, you know, grown professionals tend to use. You want to be more concise, and if you're trying to emphasize something, emphasize it with better use of descriptive words. Okay, that's all you want to do. So literally bro, stop being so literal bro, is what people would tell me. This is fine. You can talk however you want to talk. You know what? That's fine. You are you, be you. But when you're in an office setting and you're dealing with customers, you want to try to avoid that. So there you go. So let's get some things going here. Literally, bro, literally. Love that. Bro, literally, bro. Where are the good ones here? There was one that was really funny I saw the other day. I should go to my history. Bro, literally, bro. Literally, bro. I think that's what I did. Oh, look, we keep coming up there. So what happens if you put that in your titles. Literally, bro. Bro. She says bro a lot. That might be a good one. Also, she says bro a lot. What do you do when she says bro a lot? Bro. Bro. Literally, bro. You get the point on that one. Literally, bro. Literally, bro. There's a few good ones on here that I saw. The word. Using the word literally. Literally, these people, I tried watching these people. So boring. I'm only gonna put that on there. This one was funny. This is why you don't use the word literally. This was the best one. This was the best one. This was hilarious. 3.5 million views. Yeah, of course it's funny. This is the best one. This is what happens if you use literally too much.
Used the word literally incorrectly.
Guys, get in here. You gotta see this. I'm literally crying.
You're not crying.
So?
But you said you were literally crying.
I just meant I was laughing.
So don't use the word literally then.
But this is literally the funniest thing.
His friends urged him to say it figuratively instead, but the boy wouldn't listen.
This pizza is so good, I literally just orgasm.
Ew.
I didn't actually orgasm.
So why did you just say literally?
Because this is literally the best thing I've ever eaten. I could literally eat 1,000,000 mozzarella sticks. Literally 1,000,000.
It was all harmless idiocy until one day.
Guys, I took a shortcut through a back alley and I was literally stabbed by a vagrant.
Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever.
See?
I'm literally dying.
Yeah, just like you were literally dying when you saw The Hangover 3.
Okay, no, that time I just thought Alan was on point. Okay, but this time it's my body. It's been literally destroyed.
Oh, the same way it was literally destroyed that time he got back from CrossFit?
No, my hammies were just sore then. Please, guys. Oh, I'm losing control of my bowels. Guys, I'm literally shitting myself.
Just like you were literally shitting yourself when you saw Val Kilmer at a coffee bean.
I like Top Gun. I was being hyperbolic. But I'm not being
Hyperbolic, that's a good word.
Guys, I'm literally gonna die if you don't do something. Please, please turn around and look at me, please. Like, I'm literally covered in blood.
The boy
Please,
pleaded
please,
and
please,
pleaded,
I'm literally going to die.
but his literallys fell on deaf ears. Eventually, he did literally die.
Oh shit.
So let this be a lesson to all who cry literally. If you keep saying literally when you mean figuratively, you will be stabbed by a vagrant and you will die. So, the end.
You would literally die.
College humor. 3 years ago, I had a happy, normal life. Now look at me. I'm lurking at the end of YouTube videos, begging strangers for clicks. Just one click, man. That's all I need. You can click over here to subscribe to a channel, or click over here to watch another video. Just come on, man. One click. That's all I need. Just give me a click.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house.
No. No, Mr. Beast. He's on everything. He blew right up. Hey, Mr. Beast just blew right up. Hey, that's crazy. So, what are we talking about? The literally and bro. So, bro, literally, like bro. Can you see how silly that is? So many things I say other than literally and bro. Bro, Safina. You sound like a surfer. If you're at a club or a bar or a pub, whenever they open back up, or a gym, gyms are okay. You can use that at gyms. Gyms are okay. Gyms I could do. You could use bro it all up. You know, when you're in like, you know, some a sporting event, you know, bro it all day. But just don't use it in an office setting. Furthermore, a lot of language you don't want to keep using in an office setting that you use in other settings. Like when you're in an office setting and you're dealing with customers. I'm going to turn that down a bit. When you're dealing with customers and around you, you have to keep your language. You have to be wary of your language, especially in retail. When you're in a retail setting, like a car dealership. Segment coming up over there. The car business blows up. We're going to do that in a minute. But when you're in these settings, an office setting or a setting where there's potential for clients, you don't know who's around you. You don't know what's going on. So you always have to maintain that professionalism. So, and you have to keep your words in that level. Especially if you're dealing with, you know, executives that are in your presence, you know, you got to keep when you're talking, especially to them, if you're trying to raise money or you're trying to get into business, especially in an interview, you can't be like, I literally need this job, bro. You can't. That should be something that is I shouldn't have to tell anybody about what they should and shouldn't say in an interview. I hope not. And if you do need help, what you need to say in an interview, and you have an interview coming up, ask us, chat with us, send us in the chat. Say, hey, I got an interview coming up. This is what the business is. This is the type of business it's in, and we'll help you out, right? I've personally been in like 1,000 interviews, literally. No, probably not. Probably 100 in my life, but you know, enough. And I've held interviews. I've interviewed people. So, you know, if you need help, if you have an interview coming up and you need some advice or whatnot, let us know. Send us a message, send us a chat, you know, Discord, we have all that stuff. So let us know and we'll help you out there. But keep the language used in an office setting to professional settings only. When you're done and you leave the business and you leave their company, you leave your place of work and you go out for drinks after, throw it up literally all day long. But keep it out of I don't use that even in those settings, but that's just me. I don't care if you do. It's all up to you. Just keep it out of work, right? Keep it out of work. And keep it out of your interviews. Don't use either of those words in an interview. Ever. Just don't ever. So that's just all I have to say about that. So, we're going to get into the car business blowing up and why it's going to blow up real soon. After we have some water. These are great, eh? Big life right there. Okay, so that was the literally bro segment of the show. And it was literally the best ever bro part of the segment. And I want everybody to know that we are only just beginning, bro. And we're going to get into the car business stuff. So, without further ado, whoop, there's a side camera. Did you see that side camera? Did you see that? See this side camera? So, what is going to happen is that the car business is going to blow up soon. What's going to blow up? Why is it going to blow up? What do you mean blow up? Well, I can tell you why it's going to blow up. Where's the front camera? Where am I here? There I am. So, car industry. Why is it going to blow up? What's it going to do? What's going to make it blow up? Boom. Goes the car industry. The car industry is going to blow up. Not so much blow up as in like it's going to be gone and nobody's going to buy cars anymore. But the car industry is in for an absolute reckoning in the next 5 to 10 years. And it has a little bit to do with, you know, electric cars and electric vehicles and things like that. That's okay. We get it. Yeah, there's going to be electric cars. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what is in there to fuel the vehicle. It's irrelevant what's being used to fuel the vehicle. The vehicle is moving from point A to point B. That's what it's meant to do. Where the change is the buying habits that are going to happen with the people buying the vehicles, who they are, and what their reasons are for buying a vehicle, if they buy a vehicle at all. Okay, the car business is coming up to a group of a generation that was born in 2001, 2010, and later, that may not ever want a vehicle. That's an issue. But that's sort of, 20 years down the line. The car business is in for a change in the very immediate, not because of what their customer base is going to change, but what the customers expect out of buying a car and the car buying experience. That is something that's going to change very quickly, and it's going to affect a lot of places car companies that haven't adjusted to a customer-focused based delivery approach to their business. Now, what I mean by that is that customers who are buying a vehicle now are buying a vehicle for a whole host of reasons. Identifying one of those reasons is a challenge, and part of the salespeople that are selling the car's job is to identify what the reason is for buying it. But the big issue is how they buy it, the process that they go through to purchase it. Before the internet, people would have to go to their local dealership and they would look around at this car brand, and they usually would all be very loyal about the car brands. So if they were a GM buyer, they'd go to the GM dealership. If they were a Ford buyer, they'd go to a Ford dealership. And for many years, the car industry's biggest challenge, obstacle-wise, for a car company was getting them to go from GM to Ford to Dodge, then Honda comes along and tries to get everybody to go into the Japanese markets, and then Honda, Toyota, and then the Korean car companies come along and they try to get you to go from, Kia to Hyundai, and as German car companies battle for their German car customers, and then, and it's a struggle back and forth. So that was the biggest issue before, was just sort of swaying them back and forth. So car companies really never had to worry about, the dealerships never had to worry about, upsetting the customer or worrying about what the customer was going to do, because most of the time they were pretty loyal. So they only had to do so many adjustments to maintain their customers. So what the big issue is nowadays is that because of the internet, shopping for vehicles have become extremely fickle. You can't get away with price changes as much as you can before, or price fluctuations. So price shopping has become a very important part of it. What customers will do to save a few dollars is a huge part of it as well. How far will they drive to the next dealership? They'll only drive so far. Studies show an hour up to maybe 2 hours for the bulk of the car customers will drive sort of in that. Most of them are well under the hour. Some will go as far as to drive 2 hours, but most will be well under the hour drive as most they'd ever drive. The majority still try to keep within their sort of city, so they don't drive that far. Nowadays, they do all their shopping before they get to the dealerships, especially during this COVID, as customers are doing all their shopping because they're all by appointment only. So the COVID is not going to help any of the car companies in the way that they used to do business, because now buyers are now trained to set up their deals before they do any shopping, before they're coming in. I'm going to set up all my car test drives with this one, and then they're gonna test drive them, and there's really not much you can do to stop that or save that. There's just test drive them all, and they're gonna do their shopping, in their own space. They're also gonna be buying the way they want to buy. No more car companies, dealerships. No more are you going to be able to just take a customer and have them wait in a waiting room so you can sort of figure out what you're doing with their business deal and their deal to try to squeeze a few more bucks out of them. That's over. That is 1987. Okay? The whole thing where you have to touch a desk for the managers and the other people that get involved to make sure they can squeeze a few more bucks out of them and all that stuff. It's over. It's over. Successful car dealerships now have professional sales staff that they have trained to help run their business and sell within their business, and they've given them the tools to be successful, and then they just bring them car deals. That's it. The relationship between the person selling the vehicle and the customer is golden, and it has to be maintained. And by throwing all these different managers and different people involved in there, you're just going to cloud all that up. So that's something that this COVID thing, this COVID right now is going to, if it hasn't already done that before, this is the nail in the coffin for that way of doing business. You have to end it now, because the way that Tesla's doing business is very different. How they're delivering and selling cars, the way that the luxury car companies are doing it, the way that they're delivering and selling cars is far more customer centric. The customers now are fickle with how they buy things and fickle with how they want to be treated. And you cannot treat them the way that you've been treating them for this long and expect to be successful. You can't. That way to do business is over. What they want from a buying experience is they want to get in there. They've already done a lot of their shopping, a lot of their buying, or a lot of their understanding of the vehicle. They don't need somebody to sit out there and go over talking points as much. What they need is they need to get in, do what they got to do, and get out. And make that experience quick, easy, painless, and get that process moving way faster. Better for you as a car company, because you could turn customers over quicker, and their experience for buying is much, much better, right? Where the other experience for their buying experiences is the follow-ups, making sure that you're letting them know that they're still an important part of your customer base. That's where a trained salesperson will be involved in that. But the way that they've been doing business, especially in the American car companies, and I've worked for them all, many of them, and I've worked for a lot of different car dealerships, is that they all have a different way to do business. But I've noticed that the American car companies are they haven't changed how they do anything for 30, 40 years. That process is still all there. And maybe back 50 years ago, 60 years ago was different. Maybe they should go back to that, where the salesperson is actually a professional and they're trusted to do it. But I can tell you this from if you're watching this video and you're in the middle of buying a car, I could tell you how the process works. You will walk in, you will do your car shopping, you'll pick out your car, you'll do the test drive. Before you do the test drive, you'll notice that your salesperson disappears. When they disappear, they have to go talk to their manager, and their manager has to get in some notes going. Let's start the process. Let's get some notes going, guys. Okay, let's figure this out. We got to get this customer. Okay, then they'll come back. You're like, geez, that took a long time to just grab a license plate. Yeah, I have to go. It's called touching desk. I have to go to my manager, and I have to go talk to the manager because I'm too stupid to talk to the customer myself. I have to bring in my manager who has a brain and I have nothing, and I'm a empty shell of a moron, and I'm just here to hand you keys and nod my head. That's what managers think of salespeople. That's what the dealerships think of the person you're talking to, is that they're a blithering idiot and they're too stupid to actually handle your entire process start to finish. But yet all the sales managers were once salespeople. So apparently once they became sales managers, they now got a brain installed in their head. Yeah, that's right. If you're watching this and you're a car sales manager, cut it out. Train your sales staff properly. Okay? Trust what they're doing. Trust that you've trained them properly, and let them go. Treat them like salespeople, sales professionals. When you go buy a house, does a person selling you the house go, hold on, why don't you guys wait inside the house? My manager's in the car. I'm going to go talk to my manager in the car so I don't say something wrong, and then maybe my manager, right before you buy the house, will come out and, I'll stand back here and I'll have my manager shake your hand and while I hide in a corner because I was just there to be like Vanna White and show you around the house. That's all I was to do. You don't see that in home sales. The home sales are far more expensive than car sales. I've been selling a business my whole life. I never had to worry about, no matter how big the deal was, I never worry about having a manager come in and swoop in and make sure everything was all done right. Car businesses, cut it out. You're not doing anybody any favors. Nobody's buying it. Okay? So car businesses nowadays, that type of thing has to change. A lot of them it has. As these new car companies come online. Okay, we talk about Lucid Air. Okay, Tesla. Okay, There's a number of other, electric car kinds. The Rivian truck, will these be sold at traditional dealerships? Maybe, but certainly they don't have to be. They can sell them whatever they want to sell. They can sell them online now. Imagine that. Imagine that. Car dealership people. People are able to buy a car online without a manager. Manager not needed. Okay. So I had a couple of videos tuned up buying the insanity of buying a car. So there's a couple people here. Consumer reports. So we're going to get into a couple of things. I hate this guy. Don't have a good one here. Anyways, had one teed up a while ago, but missed it. We're gonna end this here. Is it loud? Anybody hear how loud that is? So, as far as buying vehicles and doing new cars, I'm just gonna explain something here. New cars and used cars. If you're buying a used car, it's a totally different thing than buying a new car. In fact, many dealerships will have two separate organizations, almost like two separate teams for buying a new car and then a used car. So there'll be two different divisions. When you see it the same, when you're the person who you're buying a new car from, and then used cars are all in the same sort of lot and they're all mixed together, not mixed together, sort of, in the same region. It's called an open floor. I only work at open floor dealerships, by the way, because the reason why you should always have an open floor dealership as a car dealership is that it's not up to you what that customer wants that comes in there. Maybe they want a new car. Maybe they want a used car. Maybe they want information. It's not up to you to decide what they want. It's up to you to find out their needs. You can have ways that you can move the conversation towards something that might be better for them. But again, their wants are their wants and needs, and you have to explain everything to them and let them make the decision. If it's a new car that they want, it's great. If it's a used car that they want, that's fine too. But the way that they buy used cars and new cars, the way that they sell them, used cars, they can be a little more bossy on. There's really nothing that you can do with a used car because every single used car is completely different. As much as you want to make it out to be, every single one of them is different. There's no such thing as a used car factory. That's a joke. So when you want to get a blue 1997 Honda Civic, there's a limited amount of them out there. So when you walk into a car dealership and you say, hey, you have a blue 1997 Honda Civic that I've been looking at for the last 6 months, I want to talk to you about price. They're going to say, right, there it is on the window. Isn't that a nice place where we put the price? There's no reason to negotiate a used car. They never have, they never will. So little bits here and there, you might be able to get a few $100 off, maybe $1,000 off type thing. Depends on the car, depends on how wild the car is. But really, what we're talking about is the way that they sell new cars. So new car businesses are going to be in for a big shock. Now, the future of new cars. This is the future of cars. There are some pretty wild car concepts out there. Now, I'm not talking fancy, crazy concept. Okay, it's the way that people move around is going to change. Okay, and I'm going to show you this one video here. Which one was it? 2 years ago. So this is Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently. Okay. It's a 12-minute video. We can disagree or agree with this all you want. It's fine with me. Who cares? Yes, there will be more ocean travel in the future. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Oh, let's turn that up a little. It's kind of a cool... It's got some cool... Powerful. They're jumping into a spaceship. Sure. They're probably not going to work. Let's say work on the moon. Is that a SpaceX rocket? Oh, yeah, and that's going back down to Earth, see? Oh, so they can get to the other side of the Earth in like, 17 minutes? Like, I gotta go to Shanghai 39 minutes later. I don't know, maybe. That would be very cool. But yes, you have to go, in order to do that, you have to go atmosphere. Hyperloop. Okay, Hyperloop. Yep, Hyperloop is one that's coming online soon. A number of Hyperloops out there. Really cool testing ones out in, I think, Utah or something like that, somewhere in the desert. Pod. You see the pod? You meaning pod, coach pod, lounge pod?
The Hyperpod is the long-haul vehicle of the Hyperloop One system. It is a comfortable and safe transport hull for passenger and cargo pods. All levitation and guidance systems fit seamlessly underneath. Secure airlocks are at each end.
If people from Twitch are tuning in, they might be thinking I'm playing a video game.
Glide smoothly at airline speeds right to their destination.
It's called the Hyperloop.
Today, I'm going to show you the 5 foods you must avoid eating if you have arthritis. If you have arthritis, you need to watch this short video right now.
Well, I don't, so I don't have to watch it. This is 2050. 2050 is going to come way faster than people think, and none of this is going to be here. This is like 100 years out. 2050 is going to be here like that. 30 years from now? Yeah, none of this is going to be like that. It'd be cool, though. I would love it. That'd be awesome. Underground tunnels, transportation, yep. Yep. Yeah. obviously show the Tesla. First of all, Tesla 2050 won't look like that, so that's an old one at this point in time. That's a used car. See ya. Yes, that's the way it should be. Okay. And you can do that when you have electric vehicles, because there's no emissions. If you put emissions and you put cars underground with emissions, you'll all die. So that's the thing. What does it say for speed? Speed, 200 kilometers an hour. I'm hitting that like button. Me next. Does everybody drive a Tesla in the future? Obviously. Airbus pop up. Oh yeah. The vertical one. Yeah. It's made by Audi. Audi apparently got into helicopters. Where is this girl? I love that. I want a clear like touchpad like that. See right there. That is likely what you're going to see it more often. Yeah, this vehicle. I hope they're going to get into that vehicle. That type of vehicle like that you'll see much sooner. Yeah. Mass-produced little vehicles. That's different. See? Picks it up. That's kind of cool. Pick me up. I'm walking through the park. Oh, now it turns into... I thought it was going to turn into a sports car. Renault. Gotta have the Renault colors.
Pills is a new type of pharmacy. We sort your medication by dose and deliver it directly to you.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I just don't know how it levitates, though. Is it levitating? Yeah, I don't know how it levitates. Like, that would have to be a special road, that immense magnetism power. Like, it would have to, you know, the polar energy required to generate to do the levitation like that. Is like they'd have to have a new source of energy by then. Some type of super wild battery power or something. Because levitating things, anything like that, is super difficult to do it and control it. And these are all fantasies, obviously. Oh, this is a model, or this is a thing. Apparently, we're all cartoon 3D characters in the future. Oh, I like the doors like that. Yeah, what do you need windows for if it's driving? You don't need windows. That's not 2050. Sorry, it's not 2050. That's something that's been tossed around. Yeah, see? Uses wheels and it goes over the existing traffic. So traffic drives underneath it. Why'd you interrupt my YouTube watching with commercials? Apparently, in the future, everybody drives old cars. Oh, it can like it can like remove itself from the track. See, this was already sort of piped around a little. Thanks, bud. Yeah, I've already done it. I've already liked your video. He's got 1.13 million subscribers. Whew. Whew. 1997, that's probably when you were born. Drink. Well, now. So that's a little bit of the future of the car industry, but the car industry is you've seen in that video is bigger, is technically bigger than just cars, right? The car industry is going to be made up of, in the future, is going to be made up of not just like consumer cars where you would, see. You go to the dealership, you go buy your car, and you drive around your car. The generation that's coming up now might not ever buy a car. They might not need to. All they're doing is getting from point A to point B, and if they could just call a little pod or a little buggy to take them around, whether somebody's driving it or not, they don't care. It's about cheapness. It's about convenience. They put their money elsewhere. Cars are expensive. Cars are expensive to insure. Cars are expensive to own. Cars are expensive to pay for. There's you're gonna get a different customer, or you're gonna get a different generation that may not ever even want to own a car. That's just all there is to it. So the car industry is going to be made up in the future of super high volume, global cars or commuter cars that are inexpensive to buy, inexpensive to acquire, relatively safe, inexpensive to own, almost disposable, or at the very least made up of, very similar to, what they talked about, which is like a car that you just, like an Uber that just comes up and brings up to you, and then you hop in with a bunch of your friends, and then you are taken away to where you want to go. And they're all going to look the same and mass produced, and you call them up, or you get your own car like that if you'd rather not. But especially with urban spaces, parking is going to be extremely expensive. That's going to continue up as real estate continues to go up and continue to skyrocket. The cost of real estate goes up. The cost of parking is going to continue to go up. So these urban centers, these huge metropolises that are continuing to grow, owning a car is going to be ridiculous. Apparently New York just had record-breaking car sales. Where are you going to put them all? Like the cost of parking is going to be through the roof. Like they put all these cars in there, if there is a spot available, the spot just went up to like 500 grand a year. Now you got to own it. It's like a piece of real estate you got to own. This is my square space where I park my car that I drive 12 minutes. It's just not silly. It's just silly in those urban centers. So the car industry is going to have to make some changes. Those are long-term changes. I talk about the changes that are going to happen in the more immediate, right? So those are some changes that are going to happen. So, anyways, some people saw what I was drinking. Leffe. You can find it at Walmart. It's a Belgian beer. It's pretty good. It's a strong beer. I don't drink much beer. When I drink beer, I like strong dark beers. So that's this one, strong dark beer, 6.5%. So it's a very good beer. It's even got that little foily top on it. So you have to like open it with a bottle opener like this. Okay. So this is a bottle. This is a wine opener. Okay. Oh, the wine opener. Le Creuset wine opener. So, open the wine like that. Okay. But you'll see in the back here that has this little tab like that. Okay. That tab is what's used to open a beer bottle. Okay. So the wine opener does have an ability to open a beer as well. So it's a multifunctional tool. And if you're like in a jam and you need to you need a weapon, it's got a really super small knife that you be able to really scratch someone with. So, and a corkscrew to remove the cork. And this is a walking mechanism. I don't know if people realize this. It's a walking mechanism. You put it in like this, like that. You screw it in, and then you walk. You walk it. You start with the tip like this, and you start with the middle part, and you go woo, and you sort of pull it out a bit, and then you go with the top, and then you pull it out, and you use it so you walk it. That's why they flex. Okay. So these are proper wine openers that everybody should know how to use them or have them. So we're going to go to our last segment, which is why 2021 may be the year of the entrepreneur. So 2021 is going to be a pretty interesting year. What to expect in 2021, nobody knows. But I can tell you this, that because everybody was stuck inside and, didn't have as much to do and go out, there was probably quite a bit more people that did work from home. And when people work from home, there's two things happen. One is you don't always work on the thing that you're supposed to work at, right? So sometimes you get sidetracked in doing some other projects, like your own business. The other thing that happens is there's a lot more babies. So 2021, you're going to probably see a lot of babies, little baby boom, which will be interesting to see because, as mentioned in one of the previous broadcast episodes, we talked about population changes. Now, this is it's going to be a little minor, little blip, but you might see a generation of babies that are born sort of, a year after the COVID era. And 20 years from now, you'll see that generation, and there may be a change. There may be some things happen. If you've read Freakonomics, the book Freakonomics, we have a book that we're going to show in a bit here as somebody that's in sales or anybody watching that's in sales. We have a great book that you really should read, and then we'll get into that in a bit. But Freakonomics is a book that gets into all kinds of crazy stuff about population changes and population differences. We will actually show this Freakonomics right there. So Freakonomics is pretty cool. I don't think we're going to watch the movie. Book summary. That's a good one. We'll watch that one. So this is the book that, if you haven't read that book, that's a great book to read. Freakonomics movie. No, this is the one that we're going to watch for sure. No, that wasn't it. Oh, this is only a very small clip. 250. We don't want longer than that. Yeah. We don't have an audiobook. Where is it? They've got a podcast out now. Freakonomics is a great book. So if anybody's watching this and you haven't read Freakonomics, you got to read Freakonomics. That's just all there is to it. Here's one on abortions and crime. This one is really controversial, and we try to avoid getting into controversial stuff here. But this is really the one that everybody sort of goes to about it. They did a TED Talks, of course. They have a bunch of these society relationships between things like McDonald's drugs and all these types of things. So could this happen again? I hate controversial things, but let's put this on here because heck, why not? This is a very controversial, the most controversial thing that they do in their book. This is the one that sort of gets people. But it's an important thing to know about Freakonomics and what they do. And what that book's about.
You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
What I believe to be true, and I think the evidence supports it, is a hypothesis which many people find jarring and disturbing, but nonetheless I believe is probably right.
Good evening. In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today
Roe v. Wade.
legalized abortion.
In 1973, in a case called Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court ruled that abortion, which had previously been legal in only 5 U.S. states, would now be legal nationwide. Precisely the opposite of what happened in Romania.
The legalization of abortion in the 1970s was one of the primary reasons why crime fell in the 1990s, because a whole generation of potentially unwanted children were never born because of the legalization of abortion. And if you fast forward 20 years to the point in time when they were going to be at their peak crime ages, they simply weren't there to do the crime.
You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
The trouble, of course, is that life isn't like the movies. For so many children who, without Roe v. Wade, would have been born in 1973, their lives might not have been the wonderful lives of being born into a loving family in yesterday's small-town America. Rather, theirs would be the far harder road of being born into a potentially unwanting household in America's crumbling inner cities or forsaken heartland. Levitt's conclusion, as much as half of the 1990s crime drop was an unintended consequence of Roe v. Wade.
The theory behind it is actually quite simple. Unwanted children have been shown to be at high risk for crime. With legalized abortion, fewer unwanted children were born. Therefore, the theory would be that there would be less crime 15 to 20 years later when those cohorts reach their peak crime ages. And the data support that hypothesis quite strongly. If you follow the data, there were 5 states that legalized abortion 3 years before Roe versus Wade, and about 15 years later, their crime begins to fall 3 years before the rest of the country. Then, if you look at the states where abortion was not just legal, but easily available to people who wanted to get them, 16, 17 years after Roe versus Wade, you see a 30% difference between the states doing a lot of abortions and the ones who are doing very few. Finally, all of the effect we see in the divergence in crime, all of that is concentrated among people under the age of 25, people young enough to have been exposed to legalized abortion. People older than the age of 25, there's no difference whatsoever between the high abortion.
Told you it's controversial.
And I think in some ways that's the best evidence we have that legalized
but
abortion
it's part of it.
is responsible for a big chunk of the decline in crime.
Levitt's controversial theory has been
Now, I'm not here supporting one side or the other. I'm just saying this is part of the Freakonomics book.
advocating abortion as a crime-fighting tool.
In no way would I take this as advocacy in favor of legalized abortion. I don't think anyone's opinion about whether abortion should be legal or not should be affected by our results.
Some of Levitt's critics suggest that his theory holds what might appear to be class or racial implications. He argues, though, that race and class have nothing to do with the matter, that his theory targets no specific group other than mothers-to-be of all backgrounds. And since, as Levitt points out, women who elect to abort go on to become childbearers consistent with the general population, Levitt's argument could thus be understood to suggest that legalized abortion does not so much prevent birth as delay it. This turns an unwanted birth by too young mother, for example, into a wanted birth by that mother when she feels more ready. So, if Levitt is not advocating abortion as a crime-fighting tool, what is he advocating? Well, whether one is pro-life or pro-choice or somewhere in between, there is a meaningful and to date unimpeached connection between giving women the right to choose and a reduction in crime.
Okay, so you'll hear it here first, but you know, they might be thinking this as well. It's possible that in 17 to 18 years from now, there may be a small chance that there would be a small jump in crime, maybe, based on that. I don't know. I mean, even if there was any boom, like, let's see, is there going to be a baby boom from COVID? Do you think so? Let's look at this. Let's research this. COVID baby boom. Is it a COVID baby boom? Is there a COVID baby boom? Is there any experts say baby bust from pandemic won't hit Canada? Okay, or will there be a baby boom? I don't care, but just global. Let's see if there's going to be global. In the Philippines. Oh, Philippines. Baby boom or bust. How it will impact birth rates in 2021. UK. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, whatever. Okay. With all the jokes, blah 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 blah, baby boom during the. Is there any data to support this? Just 500% was born this year. The UK could see a baby bust. They're dropping the lowest, and so it's the lowest. So in the UK, it's the lowest. Concerns with the economy or reasons why they're not. So the number of the one survey conducted in April 2020, peak of the first wave, found that 50% of people had planned to have a child in 2021. 5 months later, I decided to postpone pregnancy. The opposite effect. Weddings were postponed. Concerns for access to healthcare, general practitioner services. Okay, so there's a negative effect. Now that was in the UK. Was it like that in Canada? Let's just see. Will there be a pandemic baby boom in Canada? Is that actually Canada? But now it looks like the opposite's true. This isn't good. Like when we were talking about in a previous episode that birth rates were already going down, like if that's the case, that's a bad sign. Like, folks, go start having babies, please. Go. You should at least replace yourself. Go out and try to replace yourself, right? If you have, you know, a wife or, you know, a girlfriend, you guys are thinking about having a baby, not sure, get out there, man. Get going. We need more babies in this world that are born here to be, you know, having to be part of the economy in 20 years from now. Remember that the vehicles, that the 2050 vehicles? Yeah, those are your kids that you're gonna have. Okay, they're gonna enjoy that. You know, flying cars and all that shit. So get out there and go have some babies. See? Probably not. Anecdotally, it sounds fun. June 15 paper release Washington DC. Okay, see? Oof. What is the US baby boom, COVID baby boom US? Is there a US COVID baby boom? Yes, it will. See, this is the thing. See, even that's why you research this stuff, right? You got to figure this out. See, that's the thing. Now, that makes sense. So people got scared. They don't want to have babies. Don't worry about it. Go have babies. We'll be over this pandemic soon. Go out there and start making babies. Go make some babies. Hey, everybody. I'll put that in the chat. Hey, everybody. Go make some babies. See? Isn't that funny? Hey, everybody, go make some babies. Because not only is it the year of the self-employed to start your own business and to be self-employed and to find different ways to make money, with all this, it's a time to spend time with your loved ones and to go make some babies. Have fun. So, on that note, we've sort of kept to our sort of hour and a half bit here. A little short one here, but we've sort of got everything out of the way that we were looking to get out of the way, and glad we did. So, I think now, one last thing before we go. As an entrepreneur, as somebody who has been in sales for 20 plus years, more than that, I recommend a book. I'm going to get to a second book in a bit. But this book right here, which you'll find a link in the below, recommended is Spin Selling. Okay? Spin Selling is a book that's been around for a while. It's situation, problem, implication, need, payoff. Need, payoff. So some of these, this book is wonderful. One of the things about this that you'll find that's really important is it gets into things like launching a product, right? How to sell a new product. It gets into sort of taking us further step back and about a business, closing success in larger sales. Okay, can't see because it's too bright. Closing success in larger sales, but this is a good book to anybody that is looking to better their selling and to increase their sales closing rates and, you know, sell more effectively, this is a great book right here. Okay, this book right here, recommended. Okay, get it on Amazon. I recommend picking it up. It is $30 book, I think, so it's not a cheapy book, but it's a good book. It's the best 30 some odd dollars you'll ever spend. So that's a book here. And if anybody's watching this and you don't read books, like, read a book, paper. Okay, pick it up, finish it, put it away. I usually read 2 or 3 books at a time. Okay, read lots of books. One book that I'm in the middle of reading now, I'm almost done it, is a book by somebody we're going to be bringing on the show shortly. Hopefully we can start, getting some more followers with us. So if you're watching this, I'd love for you to follow, like the video, you know, check us out on Twitch, check us out on YouTube. You know, I'd love to get more people involved, more entrepreneurs involved. But this book here, we're going to be diving into a little bit soon. We're actually going to interview the author of this book. Okay, his name's Adam Creek. A very cool book. Some things in business that we should all know. There's a lot of analogies in here from business and sports, as he was an Olympian. So you see a lot of sports references in that. But that's a great book there. We're going to actually interview him soon. And but again, the book that we want to talk about today, or get into and show you today, is Spin Selling. Whoops, it's upside down. See? I wondered who else did that. Anyways, this is a book that we really recommend, and any entrepreneur, anybody that's looking to better their business, this is one that we'd recommend doing. So, wish everybody had a great night, and thank you for watching or not watching. That's totally cool. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week, next Friday, and we go from there. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.